It's really this focus on the connection between strategy and people. I myself has been working as a strategy consultant before, and I was sometimes quite frustrated with, we have a great strategy, but there's a lack of, how do we engage people in this strategy? How do we anchor it? And how do we make sure it's actually getting implemented? So that's one of the things that I think is unique. Another thing is, of course, there is a deep underlying purpose within the organization to make a difference in the world through helping business leaders and influencing business. We're talking about transforming business for good, and I think it's not just something we say, but we're actually passionate about that. We see a lot of trends that are pointing in the wrong direction. I think society is quite non-sustainable the way it's set up right now. So businesses plays a huge part in getting us back on track as a civilization, and I think this is what we want to be part of as Oxford Leadership. If we want to change something, it takes integrity and courage, because we need to challenge old truths. We need to be able to step out of our own system to see patterns that may not be so helpful, and we need to address them. So courage is one value that is close to heart to me. Another one connected to that is meaning. I think as a society, we sometimes do things because we're programmed to do it, and I think to me, in my life, I need to stop every now and then and see, is this in line with my sense of meaning? And this is also something I'd like to contribute, into organizations and society as a whole. Two things. One thing is working with individual leaders, and it's hard to pinpoint a special case, but I see again and again when people changing, I think wisdom is kind of combination of experience and reflection, and I think we have so little time to reflect in working life, and I think through some of the work we do, we help leaders create that space and reflect, and they step out of their system, they see what's going on, and they can come back as maybe a little bit wiser through their own reflection and address the system in a new way. And I think every time I see that, that's very inspirational to me. The second thing is the work we do with management teams, when we're actually supporting them in a journey, shaping strategy, and also equipping them to implement strategy through people. And I think every little step towards an even more holistic view, company maximizing total value, not just shareholder value, I think is very inspirational. Well, it has a dual purpose, of course, transforming business for good. The importance for me is this really, connecting to what we're in the middle of as a civilization. I think there is a lot of denial in society, in business, in if you look at politicians, we have huge challenges that needs to be addressed, and I think transforming business for good, we want to contribute helping leaders create flourishing businesses that are, I think, sustainable in the long run. And if you're part of a system that is not sustainable, even if you're a great business, it's not sustainable. So this long run thinking, seeing things from the outside, making changes that affects not only us as an organization, but the whole system, that's, I think, at the core of this transforming business for good notion. Ten years ago, I worked as a strategy consultant, traveling to different places in the world, working with different organizations. We did some great things, but I think I also lacked the meaning. What is the point of all these growing businesses? I actually I had a cold for 4 months, and I needed to stop to think, what's the purpose of what I'm doing? And I realized the purpose, where I got my energy from, was actually helping people do something meaningful in this organizational context. So I left that environment, and I did my own personal development journey for a few years, finding what is the purpose. But today I realize it's very much so to connect people with meaning, and through that influencing business and society. Well, I think the time we live in is a very exciting time, but there's also a lot at stake, since it's pretty clear that society is right now sort of run in a quite unsustainable way. We use way too many resources. We have climate change. We have, many different challenges. So there is this professor at Harvard School of Kennedy School of Government at Harvard, Joseph Nye. He says that business leaders need to be tri-sector athletes. I like that. That means that you have to navigate through business, of course, but also collaborate into government and society. Think a little bit also about your legacy that you want to leave. Time flies, right? We work very, very hard, and suddenly we get 65 years old or whenever we choose to retire, and then we retire, and then a few more years, and then we die. So what is it that you want to leave? Because as a leader, you have an influential position. And I think one of the challenges is to navigate through this daily life, meeting the targets and so on, and still keeping the gaze up and seeing the bigger picture, having this system view, perhaps becoming one of these tri-sector athletes that also can influence into government, society, to make a difference. So that would be my message.